OTSUKARE everyone. I'm back building mini apps using my favorite libraries, the ones that I wrote myself. So recently I've been doing some Pokemon streaming and I wanted to build a tool to help with Nuzlocks. If you don't know what a Nuzlocke is, it's basically if a Pokemon faints, you can't use it anymore. You have to put it away and use a new Pokemon, and that is a good way for you to expand and test a lot of new Pokemon instead of having the same old boring team you do every single time. So I'll just jump over to here's the GitHub and I'll show you the application. So this is the design I came up with, 3 different views. I'm going to have the main view, which will sit something like this here, just above my head, and you'll see my 6 main Pokemon, and then also the Pokemon which I'm not allowed to use anymore. And so you'll be able to see all of the Pokemon that I've had to go through and how difficult the Nuzlocke is, essentially. I tried to incorporate some of the Pokemon Home and Pokemon Go sort of UI elements. I did a little bit, but you know, if you wanted to, you could look into doing the frosted white. We'll see. When we get into the CSS, maybe I'll do the frosted white. If it's not so difficult. Here we have, yeah, like I said, the current team, and then we've got the Lost Souls, and the ability to add a Pokemon. And we're going to be using the Pokemon API and searching to find the Pokemon, getting the image, and then saving it to the local state. And we'll probably save that to browser storage as well, so we don't have to. So we have a nice backup of our data. We don't have to keep doing it every time. I'm going to jump over to GitHub here. This is Chumbucket. If you don't know, this is my sort of boilerplate that I use to build lots of mini apps. It's got a UI templating system using Nano HTML. It's got the store, which does your reactive updates. It's got a very simple router, and then it's got very basic styles as well. And when I say basic, I'm trying to say that the API is very small, which means it's very easy to get into, and it's also very composable, so you don't have to read a lot of things to get into it. If you know a JavaScript, you can just start using it pretty much straight away. Use the power of JavaScript to make it better. Okay, so we're going to use this template. We're not going to call it Reimagine Octogiggle. We're going to call it Nuzlocke Helper, probably. We'll keep it private. That's fine. We'll keep it public, sorry. And then you guys can check it out after the video. And that's going to generate this for us, and we'll be pushing our code here. I'll push the code at the end of the tutorial, and then you'll be able to see what I've done, and you can also use it for yourself. And maybe in a future tutorial we'll be using one of the newer libraries that I've made, Fishkabush in Icelandic, which is like a desktop wrapper, similar to Electron. But for now we're going to focus on building the actual application, and let's get into it. Going to start with the state. I did a little bit before. Unfortunately, I had the wrong scene selected, but I'll just go through what I've already done. At the top, I've made a new type called Pokemon. You can see the image, the name, the level, and whether it's in the box or not, which is essentially like whether it's a ghost. Yep. And then we're going to go to, I made a basic typing of the state, which has the current page, which has a name, which is the way that we do our switching of our UI. The current team, which is an array of Pokemon. The box team, which is again an array of Pokemon. The search results, which is an array of Pokemon, which is going to be searched from the Pokemon API. We've got a string, which is for the search, and add new Pokemon is going to be a form where we store all the information, and that's also going to be typed Pokemon. I've added in the reducers, current page is basically the same as Chumbucket's default. I've added the update Pokemon, which will let us set a basically update our form. We've got the update search, which will update our text here. We're going to update the search results, which we will do, which is going to be a return from the API, so it's just going to be straight value. When we add a new Pokemon to the team, we're going to add it to the end. We're going to add it to the end? We might switch this. We might add it to the beginning. Yeah, we'll probably add it to the beginning then. And that means it'll look nicer in the UI. Let's do that. Yep, and then we're going to go update current team in case we want to replace the entire team for whatever reason in whatever time during the application. Okay, so we've got the mutation, which is just adding a new one to the front, and then we've got the complete replacement if we want to do a complete replacement. I then we'll jump over to actions and we'll start implementing the information from here. So actions is just whenever a user interacts with the page, this is the functions that is going to be used. We will start with adding a new Pokemon. Here you can see I'm adding all the information from this section here that we stored, so that when we fill out the form, we'll store information in this object, and then when we go add new Pokemon, we'll just take it straight out of that form and put it into the current team, and then we'll clear the form and navigate back to the main page. We'll search. We will basically update the value on key press up. I think it's going to be better because we're going to be doing a search. So we want to only do it when people are kind of finished typing. We're going to do update new Pokemon and take all the information that was already stored inside the form and only replace the image, because that's the only thing that we're getting from the API. Yeah, I might add an ID into here, and we might just do find some ID generation library for that. Add that as nothing. Just so if we want to delete something, it's going to be a bit easier to delete. We'll go string. Yep. Now we've got handle level, which is the same concept. We're going to be replacing with the other information, and because we're using that state management system, this is going to be safe, and we're not going to have any values overriding each other. We're going to have handle nickname, works the same, and it's not actually ghost; it's in box now, right? It's here. I'm going to add in box, and this is going to be in box. We could type it up higher as well, but for now I'm fine. It's fine. And then the handle back is just going to be a back button in case we need to use that. In case you don't want to add a Pokemon, click it accidentally. So now we're going to ignore the index, go straight to the UI. We've got our main app route, which at the moment is going to be running our routing function and returning the routes. I started a Pokemon card, which, if we have a look at the Figma, it's going to be basically this section here. So we've got an image, and then we have a button. It's going to be close. Not a big deal. So here we go. We've got add button. We're going to have the image here. We're going to return this function basically here, and we're going to pass it in the P, which is the Pokemon. This is our current area inside the styles, so this section here. And the next section is the Lost Souls area, which we're going to call it Box Team. All the Pokemon we lost along the way. And the same thing, it's going to be the exact same logic. The only difference is it's on a different background essentially. So, and we're getting different data. I'll go ahead and save that. Now we're going to move on to our URL. So we're going to set up some of these routes. Yep. So you can see it's trying to use these actions, which don't exist. Get rid of them. We will delete all of the get data for now. We might leave it. I don't think we're going to use this, but because we'll replace that with Pokemon API. But we're going to definitely update this to be add Pokemon. This is going to be add Pokemon. And we're going to make a new function called add Pokemon. And when we go to the add Pokemon screen, we would like to... Now I have this currently in the action, but I might just have this... I might just put this in the route, and then it keeps the action kind of clean. So whenever we go to this page, we're going to clear the form. And then that means we can also have some ID generation logic here to do. We can generate an ID here, and sort of keep it out of that other area. And then the form will refresh every time we go to that page. Let me check. I don't have any more clearing, do I? I have a clearing on handle back, and it just means handle back would be nice and easy. Okay. We've got here, we just update current page. We also would like to update the current page. We'll update it after we clear the form to prevent any sort of flashes. It's going to be add Pokemon. And we are here, and that's the same as this case here. So update it to be the same case, and that's the correct case there. Yeah. Now we don't have any errors. I'm going to check. I'm going to refresh this here. There we go. I have a little bit of cache running on it. So now we see nothing because we have nothing to view. Nothing in our store. If, for example, I don't want the Japanese version or the English version, poke API. If I got Ditto and I copy this information into my current team, we probably don't want, with the inbox, we probably don't need two teams, we probably just need the inbox, or not inbox, right? So it doesn't actually need to be stored, we can just have that on the Pokemon itself. We don't even have two arrays, so I can actually get rid of all of that box logic. Current team, update box team. Yeah. And now we call it current team, we're probably just going to call it a listed Pokemon. I think it's important to refactor as you go. I know it's sometimes difficult to do that, but if you forget to, it just makes it a lot more trouble afterwards. So, search results, listed Pokemon, listed Pokemon, listed Pokemon. Add a comma there, listed Pokemon, the UI is checking, and that because our types are nice. Do this, we can do this, and instead we just do if p.inbox is the opposite. Do that, and then we'll copy and do exactly the same, but we'll just leave that there. And that'll give us the that should give us our two sections. Before we're going to install them. So my list of Pokemon includes a Ditto now. I've not included the correct URL. So I'm going to search for sprites as 10, and we're going to go front default here. There's also official artwork, so I might just grab that official artwork. Beautiful. So we got some official artwork. So now, if inbox is true, it should be reversed. Inbox, it's not inbox, and I'm gonna do some dummy content so we can see what's going on. Level 30. There we go, image. There we go. And now any style, so just basically got this big ass. They're gonna be really big, and they all have buttons. I'm going to disable some of the caching for now. Index. I'm going to turn off here. I'm going to turn off my service worker here, so I can, when I'm doing the development, it's not so slow. and that sort of refresh. Now if I inspect application, unregister. So if I, for example, change this to be Pokemon 1, and we'll look at the official default artwork of Pokemon 1. So, yeah, and now that update is much faster just because I've turned off that service worker. And the service worker is for when you actually release the application. It helps you register and it works offline. So, for example, in Tokyo, when you're going through the train station, sometimes you lose internet for only a brief second, and then you get it back, and it sort of smooths out that sort of situation and lets you use the app offline for a certain amount of time. Okay. These buttons don't do anything, and there's no add button. So let's first add an add button. Go to the code. And so we're in URL, and I've added in this slug ID, which is something I've used in a different project, and you can get a nice ID there. And the reason we want an ID is so when we want to delete our Pokemon, we can't really rely on the nickname. We have to rely on the ID because it's going to be uniquely generated. Added in the test button here. Yep. Plus that, and then now we can see our kind of ugly UI, and we've got our broken image because there's no image. If we go back here,